Coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba and this is Benab Midday News. Coming up in this afternoon's bulletin. The special prosecutor has launched an investigation into a suspected corruption scheme involving the diversion of palm oil valued at 25.8 million Ghana cedis. And in business, Ghana's local currency, the cedi, has opened the week relatively stable on the interbank market, but on a widening spread between official and retail foreign exchange rates. And on the international front, massive snowstorm pummeled the northeastern United States on Monday, forcing millions of people to stay home amid strong winds and blizzard warnings. We bring you details of these stories shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, this news is live on Facebook and on YouTube at Benab TV. Now, moving on to our first story, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has launched an investigation into a suspected corruption scheme involving the diversion of 50 20-foot containers of palm oil valued at 25.8 million Ghana cedis, according to the statement issued on Tuesday, February 24, 2026. The shipment had originally been declared as goods in transit to Burkina Faso. However, authorities say the consignment was unlawfully diverted into the local market in Ghana without the payment of the required duties and taxes.
The anti-corruption body disclosed that preliminary findings point to the involvement of some custom officers, national security operatives, and clearing agents. The alleged scheme is believed to have caused an estimated loss of 10.5 million cedis in tax revenue to the state. The OSP indicated that the probe stems from an intelligence-led operation conducted in November 2025, which uncovered irregularities surrounding the handling and clearance of the shipment. While investigations remain ongoing, the office emphasized its commitment to safeguarding public funds and ensuring accountability in the management of import and transit goods. The statement stressed that the Special Prosecutor's Office remains focused on protecting the public purse and upholding integrity in public administration as the investigative process unfolds. In a related development, 18 articulated trucks declared for transit to Niger, which were suspected to be part of a broader diversion scheme, were intercepted at the Akano border. Post-inspection checks revealed discrepancies in declared unit values, tariff classifications, and weights, increasing the estimated revenue exposure from 2.6 million cedis to over 85 million cedis. They were intercepted by the Custom Division of Ghana Revenue Authority over suspicions of irregularities. The vehicle were allegedly moving without the mandatory custom human escort, a serious breach of established transit procedures.
A student of Obrachiri Senior High Technical School has called for justice after he was violently attacked during a district inter-schools athletics competition at Agunoswedro in the central region. The victim, identified as Fiajigbe sustained a broken tooth and multiple facial injuries after he was allegedly pelted with stones and assaulted during the event.
A video of the incident, which has since gone viral, shows the students under attack while others flee the scene. Recounting the incident, Fiajibe insisted he did nothing to provoke the assault. According to him, the situation escalated without warning. The assault was allegedly carried out by students of the Swedrow School of Business during the athletic competition. The Ghana Police Service has since arrested 3 students in connection with the attack as investigations continue. Meanwhile, the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education have condemned the violence, describing it as unacceptable and contrary to the spirit of sportsmanship. They have called for those responsible to be dealt with in accordance with the law. In response to the incident, all ongoing sporting activities in the Central Region have been suspended pending further review and the implementation of enhanced security measures. For Fiajibe, justice remains the priority.
Moving on further, the National Teaching Council has dismissed reports circulating on social media alleging an increase in teacher licensure examination fees and claims that the National Democratic Congress has backtracked on its promise to abolish the examination. Addressing the media at a press briefing on February 23, 2026, the board chairman of NTC, Emmanuel Kwame Alovi, described the allegations as totally false and urged the public to treat them with the contempt they deserve. He added that receipt candidates continue to pay 150 cedis per paper, stressing that there has been no increment in fees.
On claims that the NDC has abandoned its manifesto promise, Mr. Alovi clarified that the commitment was to abolish the old system and integrate licensure into final examinations. He explained that the reforms removes the 1-year waiting period under the previous regime while maintaining professional standards.
The NDC has not reneged on its manifesto promise on the licensure examination. Trainees currently in college would write the reformed licensure as part of their final semester examination. And that was what the NDC promised, that we should integrate the examination into the final examination of the teacher trainees, not allow them to go back to home, wait for 1 year before they come back to write. So the second tier of trainees currently in college would write the reformed licensure as part of their final semester examination. A practical component missing in the old regime had also been made part of the new reform. Teaching practice has been added, constituting 30% of the total mark.
Cement prices could be headed for an increase as prolonged congestion at Ghana ports continue to delay the discharge of clinker, a key raw material used in cement production. Industry players have warned that mounting demurrage costs resulting from vessels waiting up to 13 to 20 days to berth may ultimately be transferred to consumers if urgent interventions fail to ease the situation. Of price hikes dominated an emergency meeting convened on Monday, February 23, 2026 by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare, in collaboration with the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari-Nipe. The meeting brought together cement manufacturers and key sector players to address operational bottlenecks that have left clinker shipments stranded at the harbour for between 2 and 3 weeks, causing significant financial strain on the industry. Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana, Bishop Dr. George Dawson Amoa, described the situation as dire, stating that the cement industry is leaking financially due to escalating demurrage charges. Manufacturers warn that the longer vessels remain at sea waiting berth space, the higher the cost incurred, a burden that could reflect in cement prices on the domestic market. Although industry players acknowledged ongoing drought dredging works at the port, they appealed for immediate interim measures, including temporary access to additional berths and consideration for handling non-dust producing raw material such as gypsum and slag at alternative berths to ease congestion. Responding to the concerns, Mr. Nikbe assured stakeholders that government is fast-tracking dredging works to expand berth capacity and accommodate larger vessels. He explained that the current berths are inadequate for bigger vessels, resulting in longer turnaround times and persistent congestion. According to him, once the dredging is completed, expected by the end of June, the port will be able to handle vessels of over 20,000 tons compared to current 8,000 ton capacity. This expansion, he said, would significantly reduce vessel traffic and waiting times. He added that portions of the dredging works, particularly around berth 14, are expected to be completed within 1 to 2 weeks, offering partial relief ahead of the full completion deadline. Well, on this note, we go for a quick break. We'll be back with business and more. Do stay.
Fair Company Limited at the shopping experience via a bimada ebro afiawe ewo West Hills Mall, the Eid al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026. Efi ukwada 18th of March to Edwada 23rd of March 2026. Ewo the prestigious West Hills Mall. Efi pabwa tadie electronic gadgets inuane denumni no nyemani nyina at your one-stop shop. Fabusuani nyina nawumi Stormy West Hills Mall. Visionary businesses nyina any exhibitors mutiem tutumrika na be register Fancy Gadam ebe performing live. Contact Ghana Trade Fair Company Limited 0597 423 304 and I say 0244 469 451 and I say 0502 500 632. Eid al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026. Ekoso, our West Hills Mall. Partners: Ghana Enterprise Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Media partners: UTV, Peace FM, Kasapa FM, Bina TV, Channel 1 TV, Joy FM, and Obatampa Radio. The Ghana Trade Fair Company is proud to announce the most anticipated shopping event of the year, the Eid al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026, from Wednesday 18th March to Monday 23rd March 2026 at the prestigious West Hills Mall. Discover stunning fashion, exquisite jewelry, luxurious fragrances, innovative gadgets, and beautiful homeware, all at incredible sales prices. Showcase your product to thousands of eager shoppers during this peak festive season. Register now for your best spot. Contact the Ghana Trade Fair Company Limited 0597 423 304 or 0244 469 451 or 050 2500 632. Fancy Gadam will be performing live at the fair. Celebrate it in style. Eid al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026. Partners: Ghana Enterprise Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Media partners: UTV, Peace FM, Kasapa FM, Bina TV, Channel 1 TV, Joy FM, and Obatampa Radio.
You're welcome back. If you just tuned in, this is Bina Midday News. Moving on, let's do some business story. The Ghana local currency, the cedi, has opened the week relatively stable on the interbank market, but a widening spread between official and retail foreign exchange rates is raising fresh concerns about underlying demand pressures. Data from the Bank of Ghana shows the interbank rate for Tuesday, February 24, 2026 at a buying price of 10 Ghana cedis 89 pesos and a selling price of 10 Ghana cedis 90 pesos to the US dollar, compared to Monday's opening level of 10 Ghana cedis 96 pesos. However, conditions in retail forex market tell a different story.
The dollar is trading at an average of 11.80 cedis, significantly above the official interbank rate. Commercial banks are quoting around 11.55 Ghana cedis, positioning themselves between the central bank's rate and bureau prices, which is a clear indication of tired access to foreign exchange liquidity. The divergence is not limited to the dollar. The British pound is trading at 14.70 Ghana cedis on the interbank market, but average 16.10 at forex bureaus. Similarly, the euro is priced at 12.85 Ghana cedis officially, compared to 14 Ghana cedis on the retail market. The persistent gap shows tight dollar liquidity and demand-supply mismatches, particularly among retail buyers and small businesses that rely on forex bureaus for immediate access to foreign currency. For an import-independent economy like Ghana, bureau rates often determine the effective cost of foreign exchange for traders. As a result, higher retail forex prices can feed directly into the cost of imported goods, implying cost-push inflation pressures. The caution is that a sustained spread between official and retail rates may also create uncertainty for investors seeking predictability in exchange rate management. This week, attention will focus on whether interbank rates gradually adjust upward to narrow the gap, or whether improved liquidity conditions ease pressure on bureau rates. With commercial banks currently selling the dollar at 11.55 Ghana cedis above the central bank's rate but below bureau levels, the market appears to be signaling upward pressure on the official rate. How the Bank of Ghana manages liquidity in the coming days will be key in determining whether the cedi sustains its interbank stability or faces renewed depreciation pressures in the broader market.
Now, moving on to some stories beyond our borders, a massive snowstorm pummeled the northeastern United States from Maryland to Maine on Monday, forcing millions of people to stay home amid strong wind and blizzard warnings, transportation shutdowns, and schools and businesses closed. Meteorologists said the storm is the strongest in a decade, dumping more than 2 of snow in parts of the metropolitan northeast, shattering accumulation records in place, immobilizing transit, and even leading the United Nations to postpone a Security Council meeting. Central Park recorded the city's largest snowfall in over a decade. A travel ban kept most cars off the roads, while a non-essential traffic was halted. Subways ran with delays, and icy roads complicated travel. Some residents skied down empty streets. Others grabbed shovels, wary that melting snow would soon turn to ice. For a day, even Times Square felt still. Even as the snow moved northward, untapped